Welcome, Web of Wires. I am more excited than I should be about Arkane's new PS5 and PC exclusive Deathloop. It's releasing May 21st, 2021, as long as things aren't delayed. I'm a huge fan of shooters because of how much fun they are to mindlessly play or how immersed you can get while playing. As soon as I saw that Arkane was making a shooter about an assassin with what sounds like a puzzle-solving element mixed in, I had to take a deeper look and describe the game to the best of public knowledge.
The thing I am most interested in is gameplay. Having a satisfying shooter isn't extremely difficult to pull off nowadays, but having a balanced and fun shooter is a little more difficult. Call of Duty is a satisfying and balanced shooter, but as soon as you're done with the fun bit, there's a boring story sequence explaining to the player what's happening and what's about to happen. Some of the games do the story really well, and you need cutscenes to load certain parts of the game, but purposefully slowing down the player just to cram some last minute story down their throats gets really annoying. That's why I'm excited about Deathloop. The story looks like it progresses with the game. As you play, die, learn, pieces of puzzles start connect, and the player is able to solve the fastest route of assassinating 8 targets. The gravity mechanic looks like it's going to be super fun to mess around with and discover bugs for. But there are two sides to this game, the story and the villain. The story portion is exactly what it sounds like. Solve the puzzle and break the loop. But when you play as a villain, you are summoned into someone else's story mode, and you have to kill your opponent to continue their death loop. It sounds like a really fun game that involves a lot of strategic and fast-paced gameplay, so I'm excited to see it play out. For the story portion, you are an assassin stuck on an island of paradise called Black Reef, where the main event is killing Colt, the protagonist. Colt needs to assassinate 8 targets by midnight in order to break the loop. If the task fails or you die, the game restarts and you're back to the beginning. With each death, you learn more and more information on how to solve the puzzle. One example they gave was Igor, a respected scientist who was invited to Alexis's party. Igor is going to go, but then discovered a scientific breakthrough, making him stay home. Now you could kill Igor and then Alexis, or you could prevent Igor from making that scientific discovery, forcing him to go to the party and killing both in the same location. It's a unique way of playing through a story because your actions do make an impact on it. I feel like this could be a step forward for storytelling, because in most RPGs, people get mad at you for ruining things instead of changing the entire story. For the killer part, you play as Juliana, where you need to assassinate Colt to continue the death loop. Colt will be an actual player trying to hunt you down as well, but it's sort of fun to think you can join someone else's story mode and just kill them over and over. It hardly seems like she will have much story to her. I really want to look into the art direction they went for. It's a complete inspiration of James Bond or any other Hitman sort of thing. The game itself looks like other Bethesda shooters, with the Bethesda flair they throw in to make it look unique enough, but the other half is a simple color palette with no more than 3 colors at once. It's so simple, yet everything pops at you with tons of impact, leaving you wanting more and more, thinking about how unique or useful this could be in actual gameplay. I desire to see this in-game, because it's either going to be left out, or it'll be something like a cutscene every time someone important is assassinated, a way to progress the story through cutscenes, or every time the death loop continues. One key thing to look out for when you want to pre-order or buy new games is if development is going well and who is developing it. I should stop saying Bethesda developed it though, it's mainly being developed by Arkane, which is part of Bethesda. They're just publishing it. The game itself is taking elements of both Dishonored and Prey, which are both great games, so it's exciting to see how this one will turn out. The game director said it's basically inverted Clue, and that they made Juliana as a way to make AI not as predictable. That idea is great, but I can see some flaws behind it, especially with new players, when the game launches, people who don't have internet, and when the game starts to age. Aside from that, it looks like development is going smoothly to public knowledge. Bethesda and Arkane are both great at making good games at launch, aside from the few hiccups, meaning the game will most likely be a success. Woo!
Deathloop is turning out to be a fun and promising game. No crunch time, no development issues, no bad news, nothing concerning that's public to us. The game still could be bad at launch though, don't get me wrong, but I think we're in good hands here. This might be one of my most anticipated games for the next generation of consoles, and I'm excited to watch as the game continues to develop.